Hi everyone, it is good to be back again. Today we are going to do another poem from NCERT book class 9 and the poem is Wind. As the name suggests, just a single word is there, wind. Even no article, the. Just wind. Why so? Because this wind is actually a natural phenomena. We all are well aware of that what do we mean by wind. Wind is just a current of air. You can see in this picture, I have just tried to show you wind. So in this poem, wind is going to teach us a lesson. And in this poem, wind is actually symbolic. If we talk about this poem, it was written in Tamil language by Subramania Bharati. Later on, this poem was translated by Ramanujan in English. And here we'll come to know a very important fact and also a message in this poem, Wind. So let us begin. This poem begins with a request. Request by the poet. What kind of a request? Request is made to this wind. Wind, come slowly. Now here the poet is requesting this wind that come slowly, come gently, come softly. Why? Why he wants the wind to come softly? So that this wind should not break the things. In the beginning lines, you can find that the poet is saying, don't break the shutters of the windows, don't throw the papers, don't scatter them, even don't throw down the books on this shelf. We all know that the wind, when it blows, it also causes a lot of destruction. So here in this poem, the power of the wind is highlighted. So that is why in the beginning 4 lines, the poet is making a request to this wind. And after that, complain. Now, after requesting, in the next lines, we find that the poet is complaining. See what you have done. What was done by the wind? Destruction. Destruction of what kind? The books that were lying on the shelf, the books were thrown. The papers, they were scattered. And even this wind brought rain. And then in the very next line, the poet says that this wind is making fun of the weaklings. Now this term weakling means those who are weak. So actually what happened, this wind is destroying the weak ones. So the effect of the wind can be seen on those who are weak. And then this poem also describes a process. So first a request, then complaint by the poet, and after that, important thing is destruction. So this wind causes a lot of destruction to those who are weak. And then, in this poem, the poet also highlights a process that is winnowing. And he also refers this wind as the god. The wind god winnows. Now, you know what is this winnowing process? When we separate grain from husk. So what do you mean by this? It's not just a process here. It highlights that the wind will separate those who are weak from the ones who are strong. So this is a process and also gives us a lesson. Then after making a request, complaint, and then also he described about the destruction, and then what was the consequence? Consequence was, one word is repeated in this poem again and again and almost 7 times: crumbling. Crumbling doors, crumbling houses, crumbling wood, crumbling bodies, crumbling hearts. See, so many things are there, and non-living things also. Plus, when the poet says crumbling hearts, crumbling bodies. So in a way, here he wants to describe something very important. And what is that? Here the poet is talking about 2 levels: physical level and mental level. It is very important for us to understand that a balance is required, not just of the body, but also of the mind. And whenever we have to face wind. So now you must be surprised how to correlate these things. It is very easy to understand when we'll come to know that this wind is symbolic to what? This wind actually denotes the hurdles, obstacles, problems, difficulties in one's life. So whenever we are facing such difficulties in our life, so we need to understand that how we have to face the challenges that come across in one's life. And that is why in the second half of the poem, the poet is making an appeal. This appeal is for the readers. In the beginning, half of the poem is just about message or complaint, request, destruction. But after that, the poet is making an appeal to everyone that whatever we are expecting from this wind, he will not do. Again, another thing. In a way, this wind is personified. Personification is there that I will explain you when I'll discuss poetic devices with you. So here, now, this appeal is of what kind? The poet wants us to be strong, to build strong houses, to close the doors firmly, and not just strong with these outer things. We have to be strong from inside too. And then only we'll be able to face this wind. That means to face this harsh reality or the problem, the hurdle, obstacle of one's life. And then what will happen? After that, this wind will become a friend to us. And then this friendship is going to be a success. This friendship will help us, and then every day we are going to praise this friendship. And with this, the poet ends the poem. Now, the theme of this poem, wind, is that we need to make ourselves capable We have to generate that strength within us. Whenever we have problem in our life, we should know how to tackle. Because as I told you earlier, those who are weak, they will have an effect on them. But those who are strong enough, can't do anything. We have to be strong. And even in the end of the poem, he also explains us about fire, weak fire and strong fire. This fire word is also used for the people. Those people who are weak, they will have an effect on them because of the problems of their life. But those who are strong enough, they will flourish. They will grow in their life. So in a way, our life's problems, they teach us a lesson that how to live a life. If people just think that our life can be without any problems, so it is not possible. The need is to make yourself strong enough to face the challenges of one's life. So this is all for today. Thank you so much. Have a good day.